You can go ahead.
Khan?
Come.
Khan?
Come.
Khan?
Come.
Hallelujah.
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 Ashar.
Ashar.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The water.
The water.
Ha.
Ha.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The water.
The water.
Ha.
Ha.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The water.
The water.
Ha.
Ha.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Ba'ashem.
Hashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hallelujah.
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 Let's get this lesson started.
Oh, praise.
Right, today's lesson is called Oppress Not Each Other. Oppress not each other. Right? With everything that's going on in our communities, within our nation, within our households, with constant bills to pay, that pressure that's on one another, that constant reminder of, we are the lower class people with all the movies they put out. They just put out that Will Smith movie, Emancipated. Every other year they got to put out a movie just to make sure that we know that we were slaves, that we had these people ruling over us, that our heritage was taken away from us. Our men were so powerless at the time, we couldn't stop the slave master from raping our wives and children. We couldn't even stop the slave master from raping us. That was called buck breaking. So we come from an oppressed people, that especially when people don't realize that we are the children of Israel. So we just think that we just have a history of oppression and that's it. How does Black History start? They're going to have it next month, just in a few days, Black History Month. How they going to start it? You Negroes came off a damn boat. That's how they're going to start it. So with all that oppression we getting from the outside, we got to make sure we don't oppress each other, man. I just seen the footage of what happened to the brother Tyree Nichols. Nichols, right? Or Nichols. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but the brother, I know everything is the judgment of the Most High God. So Yahweh allowed that to happen to him. But damn, the type of aggression and the type of hate that we get from our own damn kind is atrocious, man. It's bad enough that the Bloods and the Crips is murdering each other constantly. Chicago's like a damn war zone, right? It's places in New York, places here in Atlanta, places in Los Angeles, definitely, are like a damn war zone, right? Where our brothers and sisters murdering each other, setting each other up, doing each other dirty. Cardi B made fun of the fact that she used to drug men and get them robbed. And this is who your oppressor wants to exalt. You understand? So more people could be like that. Your oppressor wants to exalt the so-called gang lifestyle, right? So more of our people could oppress each other, right? Even when brothers were selling drugs, brothers were selling drugs because it was a dastardly act. They started taking away all the manufacturing jobs and warehouse jobs, because we used to have a lot of manufacturing jobs, especially in places like Detroit, places like New York, industrial places. We used to have a lot of manufacturing jobs and warehouse jobs, but they started shipping those off to other countries. So now when you want something, it's made in not America, but China, India, Malaysia, other places where they could get cheap labor. You understand? Even if you want to get a call in customer service, our sisters used to have those calls. Now it's, hello, I am Boondam from Aluwaba. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody is, because even when I had to fix something according to my new phone, my rib was on the phone with the customer service guy. He said, okay, you're going to get a $20 rebate. He said, $20 in American money is my weekly budget. That's how much they actually get paid out there. They get paid damn near pennies. You understand? And this is why they did that. They sent the factory jobs over there, which eliminated the jobs of a lot of our men we used to do, because a lot of our men was good with our hands back in the days, because we came straight out of slavery. So a lot of our men was good with our hands. So they took that away from us, and what they gave to us right? The real Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross, not the rapper, but he says that he got his formula for crack from the FBI. That's what they gave to us. The FBI and the CIA flooded our cities with drugs, so it turned from hard-working men to whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it, bling, blah, and then that type of toxic culture also oppresses each other, because now you got men killing each other over blocks that they don't own. Your mama's still renting and you killing somebody over a block, say it's yours. You understand? You got our men killing each other over worthless drug money. At the end of the day, it's pieces of paper with your slave master on it. I know money is a defense and we need money to survive, but at the end of the day, don't put it over your people. Don't put it over your God. Right? If that's the case, you're nothing but a black face for white supremacy. A drug dealer is nothing but a black face for white supremacy. Right? A pimp is nothing but a black face for white supremacy. A gangbanger, whether you blood or crip, you killing more niggas than the KKK. You are a black face for white supremacy. And we got to just learn not to oppress each other. The last thing that I seen was that video. And these officers that beat the hell out of this man, beat him to death. They moved just like the oppressors, but even worse, because they moved like blackface KKK. Like they were just some Bloods and Crips that was beating down a nigga that was on the wrong side. And I heard officers say it before, there's no black and white. When I put on this badge, it's blue. So now you part of the next blue gang. And now you're oppressing your people just like the blue gang that been oppressing your people for years. Because the first ever cops were paddy rollers. Right? That's what they used to call cops, rollers. And they put you in a paddy wagon. Because they were first paddy rollers, which were slave catchers. That's the first police officers. Because there was no police officers. There were sheriffs and deputies. Right? The police officers came after slavery was abolished. They needed more cops and officers to maintain the slaves that was loose. Right? So that's where that culture came from. Yeah, cops evolved into more things. Now they more so protect businesses and corporations, but they still here to oppress our people. So if you are an awakening Israelite and you are into law enforcement, you know, because me, sometimes I even do security for money if I need to, right? Don't oppress your people, though. Don't let that badge put spirits on you and then you're moving just like a damn Irish cracker cop. That's oppressing your people, and you got that boss over your head. Oh, did you make quota? Mm-hmm. How many niggas you locked up? How many tickets you gave out? Did you make quota? Right? Did you get that nigga for not having his seatbelt on? Did you get that sister for being on her cell phone? Right? Or are you oppressing the people enough? Did you make that quota? We need 50 tickets per month and at least 20 arrests from each officer. That's what that quota be. They got to make that quota. And to make that quota, they take out that frustration on you. Right? Don't fall into that. If you are, you know, an officer, a correction officer, a security guard to pay the bills, don't fall into that culture of oppressing your own people. And that's what this lesson is about. Whether you live your day-to-day life, we already got enough pressure on each other. Plus we got that curse. That I shall be evil towards his brother. That I shall be evil towards your sister. Do you know how many times when I worked for corporate America, how these sisters would claw at each other and have beef with one another for no damn reason? Right? Don't let that money be a competition between you and your sister. We know that not every one of our people is going to be on the same level as you. So you may just get an attitude from somebody at work. You're like, what the hell is that about? But don't let that turn you into a damn demon. Like, man, I'm just going to ignore this person, get my check, and go to hell home. Because this person is off as hell, and Yahweh going to judge them. But don't turn into that type of person where now it's tit for tat all day, and now you warring aside your place of business. And then they're going to look at both of y'all like y'all some unprofessional, no good niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to get to it, man. Let's get this first scripture, man. Let's get Proverbs chapter 1, verse 15. Let's not oppress each other, y'all. We got enough oppression on us. Let's not oppress each other. Because guess what? Yahweh going to be like, since y'all oppress each other, And I'm gonna just throw these curses on y'all. Y'all gonna turn up on each other fully, then the enemy gonna come through and destroy you. Because that's how the enemy always conquer us, right? Proverbs 1 and 15. Right? That's how the enemy always conquer us. How does the enemy conquer us, my brother?
By oppression.
It's a system he used. Who knows? Division. Divide, then conquer. Because ain't nobody's conquering us if we all 12 tribes. If we all 12 tribes strong, nobody's conquering us. Nobody at all. But he gotta get that division first. He gotta get Haiti fighting against Dominican Republic. He gotta get Jamaica fighting against Trinidad. He gotta get the East Coast fighting the West Coast. He gotta get the Bloods fighting the Crips. He gotta have the indigenous tribes warring amongst each other. He gotta get that first before he gets to conquer us. Right, so get that Proverbs 1 and 15, King.
This is the book of Proverbs 1 and 15.
Go ahead.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
Don't walk not in the way with them, right? If you see people walking in evil and they're about oppressing each other, they're about catching jugs on each other, finessing each other, scamming each other, hustling each other, don't walk in that way with them, right? Read on.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
Refrain thy foot from their path. Read on.
For their feet run to evil.
Their feet run to what?
Their feet run to evil.
Their feet run to evil, man. You got to about face and go the opposite way. Read on.
And make haste to shed blood.
And they do what?
They make haste to shed blood.
That's what they did to that man today, man. They made haste to shed his blood. They made haste to shed the blood in the city of Chicago, man. Chicago got businesses shutting down on State Street. It looked like a ghost town now. Nobody wants to be out there because niggas done turned that thing into a constant drill song, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
They said that in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. You know how they say it? They say anybody could get it. That'd be their slogan in the hood. Anybody could get it, right? Even your own? Wait, even your auntie down the block? Who's like, anybody could get it? You sure? But that'd be the mentality of our people. We need to cut that out. It's self-destructive. Read on.
Verse 18. And they lay wait for their own blood.
They do what?
They lay wait for their own blood.
They wait for their own blood, man. You my brother. You my sister. You flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. They lay wait for their own blood. Read on.
They lurk privily for their own lives.
They lurk privily for their own lives, man. What verse you in?
That was 18.
That was 18? Yeah, you know, that's all. That's it on that, man. Let me get Proverbs 12 and 26. Man. And they don't know that when you destroy each other, that's when the enemy comes through and destroy you. Like these 5 officers that jumped that black man, you think the police academy and all the lawyers they had for the other officers is gonna defend these guys like they defended the white guys? All the white guys that killed the officer, that killed black people and got away with it, they had GoFundMes from the white community. They had GoFundMes from the officers. They had paid leave. Now these guys got fired right quick, and they gonna get convicted right quick. Stupid niggas, you wasted all that time killing your brother, and now the enemy gonna do you dirty. Did all that for what? For what? You privily you sought and destroyed your own life by destroying your brother. Right? Read on.
This is Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
We are the righteous, and we are more excellent than our neighbor. All these nations that's neighbor to us, especially when you go back to how the geography was in our kingdom. Judah was right next to Edom. So this is mostly talking about Judah and Edom right now. Because Judah was right there and Edom was the cliffs of the rocks. It was up there in the mountains, right? So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Read on.
But the way of the wicked seduceth them.
But the what?
The way of the wicked seduceth them.
The way of the wicked seduceth them. Right? You say, well, the white man done came up off niggas. Why can't I? White man done came up off niggas for 400 years and he's straight now. So why can't I come up off niggas and be straight? Right? That's what these officers was thinking. They're going to come up off oppressing black people, get their check by oppressing their brothers. and they're going to come up like the white man. No, the white man is using you to watch him now destroy you for doing what he do. The white man's about to destroy you for doing what he do. Right? Even the so-called gangs. So them so-called gangs started from white mafias that was over there oppressing our people. Lucky Luciano and Al Capone and all them damn crackers. All them Peckerwoods. Right? They was over there oppressing our people. That's why our people started forming our own gangs. But watch how the white man destroy you for doing what he do.
God.
Right? Read that again from the top.
God. This is the book of Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
But the way of the wicked seduceth them, man. And that's what's happening to our people. And now we're going to fall underneath these curses. Let me get the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 10.
God.
The ways of the wicked seduced us, man.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God.
We have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God. And that's the biggest problem with our community. The biggest problem with our community, and this is why we got to be a light. Us as Israelites, we can't expect everybody to like follow our lead. But the ones that do want to follow our lead, we got to be a light unto them. Because the biggest problem with our community, we don't listen to our Heavenly Father. I say our nation got daddy issues. It's either your real daddy wasn't in the house or your spiritual daddy wasn't in the house. We don't listen to our Father in heaven. Right? We all got daddy issues, right? Read on.
To walk in his ways.
To walk in what?
To walk in his laws.
To walk in his what?
To walk in his laws.
You got to walk in those laws, man. Read on.
Which he set before us.
Which who set before us?
Which he, Yahweh, set before us.
No, this is a book by man.
No, which he, Yahweh, set before us.
Read on.
By his servants, the prophets.
By who?
By his servants, the prophets.
His servants, the prophets, gave it to us, man. And I'll just reiterate it as another servant. Right, read on.
Verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
No, not me.
All Israel have transgressed thy law.
Nah, not Dwayne Wade.
All Israel have transgressed thy law.
Not Jay-Z and Beyonce.
All Israel have transgressed thy law.
Read on.
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice.
Read.
Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
Therefore what?
The curse is poured upon us.
And therefore this curse is poured upon us, man. That's what we getting right now. This is all curses that's hitting us, man. Let me get Leviticus 26 and 17. Our people are within a cursed state and they're in utter darkness. So we got to be that light. We got to shine like this menorah. If we cut all the lights off right now, this menorah will stay lit. We got to be a walking menorah, right, for our people. That's why also in the parable of Revelations, Christ was in the midst of the 7 candlesticks because he represents that light within darkness. Okay?
You ready?
All right, read on, King.
This is the book of Leviticus 26 and 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
He said, I set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. Even when we slay each other, we're still being slain before our enemies. Now, you know how much the KKK members loving this video right now? Look at them niggers kill each other, man. You never kicked a nigger like that. How that nigger kicking a nigger better than you, Billy? Bob, you ain't never kick a nigger like that, right? Wow, man, we got to take nigger kicking lessons from these niggers, right? They're probably having a field day with this damn video, man. Right? Read that again.
And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
And you shall be slain before your enemies, man. Read on.
They that hate you.
They that love you.
They that hate you.
They that tolerate you.
They that hate you.
Read on.
Shall reign over you.
They that hate you shall reign over you, man. Right? And that's what happened. The massa sent them overseers after the nigger And them overseers killed the nigga. Now them overseers about to be killed for killing the nigga. Well, I said beat him. I ain't say beat him to death, damn it. Right? I'm glad you beat him to death, but I ain't let's forget about that, right? Like this white man's the devil the Bible speaks of, but too many of you niggas be on demon time, right? That's all I want on that, King. Let me get the curse in Deuteronomy. Let's start at 20 and 15. Let's get that first. Then we're gonna jump to 54. The curses are on us. So not only do we have people ruling over us that hate us, but now we gonna hate each other. Like, damn, like when you come into this truth, please don't oppress your people no more, man. I admit, man, when I was ignorant of certain things, when I was oppressing my people, I was out there selling what I gotta sell and pay the bills. But once I realized, like, damn, we already got the odds against us. The only thing we got is God. Let's have God and each other at least. Khan? Read that 28:15 Deuteronomy.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
These damn curses. Read on.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And that's what's happening now, man. That's why you got a bunch of black cops beating this other black man to death, man. So-called black man. Right? But we all know there are Israelites destroying Israelites, even though Israelites are in captivity right now. Right? Let's not kill each other. Let's heal each other. Let's get verse 54, King.
God. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you.
Get that for?
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
The man that is tender among you and very delicate. You see that? We're supposed to be tender to each other and delicate to each other. Right? To hell with a heathen. I don't give a damn about no damn heathen. A damn Moabite, Ishmaelite, Edomite, they could all be on fire right now in front of me. I wouldn't even spit on them. Wouldn't even waste my spit to spit on them, man. But I'm talking about who you are to your brother and sister, man. Read on.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother. And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right?
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And that's the biggest problem in our neighborhood. Our eye be evil towards our brother, and then towards our wife, and then towards our children. Like, who do we have then? We already don't got a damn thing. You saw them took everything else from us. But now we don't have brothers, wives, and children. So now you just a lonely nigga out there in the world ready to get killed. Now you leave your women and children defenseless so they could get killed. Because you're going to leave them behind. We got to stop that, man. We got to stop the madness. We got to stop the madness, man. And be a light unto one another. I read. You can play those videos now.
Alright, I'm going to play the first one.
Did y'all see those videos yet?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty off.
Just released the footage from the death of Tyree Nichols. We're going to play it for you now, but we want to let you know that we have not seen the video because we felt it was important to watch it in real time with you, the viewers. Because of this, we want to warn you, though, there will likely be profanities, a lot of profanities, and emphasize that we've already learned this video is incredibly graphic, violent, and very disturbing. We also know that the Memphis police have redacted some parts to cover license plates and faces of people unrelated to this incident. We will play it now.
They cut off the audio.
Cut off audio. What's that? That's the camera view, right? The high camera.
That's in the car right now.
It's in the car. Yeah, I think they did that on purpose though, because I think they really want to just roast the black men, the so-called black men, and they don't want the things over the speaker where the white man has encouraged them to be in. That sounds real professional, don't it? White boy out of breath. Try to chase Jake. Jake was out on him. You know what I'm saying? White boy out of breath.
Young male, black, slim build, blue jeans, and a hoodie. Southbound on Ross. Where I saw.
The black man was spraying so much mace, he maced himself.
Yeah, YouTube just stopped it.
YouTube stopped it?
Yeah, they just stopped my stream.
They stopped the streaming?
They stopped my stream.
Wow.
Yeah, they just stopped my stream on there.
But you still recording right here, right?
Recording there. Wow, they stopped my stream over there.
That's the first time they did that.
I think because of that video, yeah. It's weird though. Yeah, to stop my stream. Damn. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Get more. Here. Right here. Negative 2938.
Last time they did something like that, we was dealing with DMX when they stopped the stream.
Yeah.
They took out the picture, they need to stop it, period. Yeah, it's crazy.
They stopped it, yeah. So this one is still going though.
You know.
Wow.
I was gonna say put on the other one when the upper view, but they probably killed that too.
Yeah,
They probably automatic because the upper view, and when y'all get a chance, y'all should watch it. Matter of fact, after this, I'm gonna have y'all watch it. The upper view though, the one that the light, the street light camera caught, was crazy. Like you seen them kicking him in the head, beating him with a baton. Even when they lifted him up when he was already handcuffed, they was getting free shots on him. See homeboy head bouncing around. And then after all that, he even seen no medical attention. Not for at least an hour, I think. You know what I'm saying? Did that man dirty. And that's for a traffic stop. But then when you have a damn devil like Dylan Roof that goes inside our church with our elderly women and kill them, he get brought to Burger King. You know what I'm saying? You know, so there's a lot of hypocrisy going on, and that's the system of oppression that this law enforcement, how can I say, industrial, right? This prison, mass incarceration, industrial system takes on us. Is just another way of doing a plantation. So, would they give you a strike or something?
I'm not sure. I'll look at it in a minute.
Yeah.
It's so good, King. Let's keep going. Let me see if I can get back on.
Let me get First Maccabees. First Maccabees 1 and 11. Let's get the Apocrypha right quick. First Maccabees 11. Get that Apocrypha.
Memphis police have.
This is the book of First Maccabees 1 and 11.
Right.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
Out of Israel, what?
Wicked men.
These are some damn wicked men, man. How could you do your brother like that, man? Right, read on.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the
And
heathen.
that's the covenant that they made with the heathen. That we're gonna put on these badges and we're gonna treat these niggas like complete dirt. Con? Read on.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
And they feel like if they depart from the ways of the heathen, they're gonna have much sorrow. They're not gonna get the bonus. They're not gonna reach a higher up to be like sergeant or detective. So they feel like I gotta oppress the hell of our people so I can excel. Right? I'm gonna climb that ladder. Unfortunately, that ladder is filled with the bodies of my own people. Every rung of that ladder is another body of my own people. Right? Let me get verse 21.
God. Verse 21, still in the book of First Maccabees. And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
See that they took away the candlestick of light. They took away the menorah. They wanted to lose the light so our people would be in darkness. Con? Let me get chapter 11, verse 21.
Con. Book of First Maccabees 11 and 21. And certain ungodly persons who hated their own people.
That did what?
They hated their own people.
These are ungodly persons that hated their own people, man. Read on.
Went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
Right, so they over here snitching. Right?
God.
Right, they over here snitching, telling on one another, right? Destroying one another. Right? We all seen them scenes in the movies where the white officer meets the white person and the white person says, you know, officer, I'm having a bad day, And the officer, well, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mercy that they show each other as a nation. We don't show each other that mercy. We really quick to destroy each other. Con? Right? Let me get the book of Genesis out. 37 and 18. Because our people destroying one another is nothing new. Joseph's own brothers sold him into slavery. Let's get that right.
Genesis 37 and 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them,
Right.
they conspired against him.
They did what?
They conspired against him.
You see that? In that clip, you're gonna hear the white boy tell the black dude, I hope when they catch him, they stomp the out of him.
Wow.
And that's exactly what they did. Because they said, well, Esau said I should do it. Let me relay that message. Let's go stomp the out of him. Read on.
They conspired against him to slay him. And they said, Salakia Khan.
They conspired against him to slay him. These are his brothers. Read on.
And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Verse 20, come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit.
Read.
And we will slay. Salakia, and we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him.
So they heard he had an alibi. They conspired so much they even had an alibi saying an evil beast did this to him. Read on.
God, and we shall see what will become of his dream. Keep going.
Keep going.
God, verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him.
Right, read.
God, verse 22. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he may rid, that he might rid him out of their hands, and deliver him to his father again.
Read on.
God, verse 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors that was on him.
Right, they was jealous of his coat. They was envious. When I was growing up, there was a whole lot of brothers that was robbing brothers for their coats. You know what I'm saying? The Averags, the North Face, you know what I'm saying? They was robbing brothers for their coat. A little bit of fly leather, not no Pele. right? They were robbing brothers for their coats, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit,
Mm-hmm.
and the pit was empty. There was no water in it.
Wow. Read on.
Verse 25. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh.
They was very comfortable after they betrayed their brother. So they sat and ate and chilled. That's crazy. Right? Read on.
Going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 27. Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites.
Right? Said let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. So they sold their own brother into slavery, right? Because Judah was looking for a profit. That's what I'm saying. Y'all can't be putting money over y'all people. God? Read on.
And let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Verse 28. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver.
Right, 20 pieces of silver. How much did Yahushua get sold out for?
I think it was 30.
It was 30, right?
I think so.
Right, so Joseph got sold for 20, Yahushua got sold for 30, right? Read on.
Come. And they brought Joseph into Egypt, and Reuben returned unto the pit.
That's it on it.
Come.
Right. That's it on that, man. So Joseph, not only in chapter 38, he got sold out by his brethren, but in chapter 39, he got accused of rape. So he just got done dirty twice in a row. And that be the oppression that's on our people. So why would we do each other dirty? He got done dirty by his own brothers, and then the Pharaoh's wife did him dirty too. In fact, we could touch up on that a little bit. Let me get 39 and 7.
Come. The book of Genesis 39 verse 7.
This be the life of our people, man. Tupac faced the same thing. Kobe faced the same thing. False accusations, right? Just the oppression on our people. And those are people that's high up in society, I just named. Tupac and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? They both face wrongfully accused rape accusations, man. Try to destroy those brothers. Read on.
Come. Genesis 39 and 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, lie with me.
And she said what?
Lie with me.
That's crazy. Read on.
Verse 8. But he refused.
He did what?
He refused.
He was righteous, man. He didn't want to do that. Especially if you're dealing with, that's your master's wife. But that's how a lot of Negroes got killed during slavery. That old nanny or mammy, or what you would call her, no, they call her what, a mistress. The mistress, right? The master's wife, the mistress, used to come down there to the fields and be like, oh, come help me in the barn with this, Toby. Come help me in the barn with this. You all big and strong, Toby. You can help me with this in the barn. She's like, yes, mistress, yes. You go in there, and then she do what she do with you. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, Toby, you're gonna help me in the barn once a week now, right? But then she get greedy to turn twice a week, 3 times a week. And when y'all get caught, she yell rape. And that's how a lot of brothers died during slavery. They put that in a movie called Mandingo. Y'all should look that up one time. You know what I'm saying? Right? They used to do that to our men all the time during slavery. Right? Even to this very day. But if a white girl knows she come from a racist family, right? She may just mess with a Negro here and there, but if she get caught, she's gonna get raped. Same thing happened to Emmett Till. He ain't do nothing, and that white woman put him to death, and then later on in her life admitted that she was lying.
She made it up.
She made it all up, man. Right? But if y'all want to get into that, y'all will read from verse 7 to verse 20. But for the sake of time, I'm going to the next Bible verse, right? Because with that footage, right, that we're not going to show right now because YouTube acting crazy, but within that footage, when they was beating our homeboy, he yelled out for his mother. You know, and, you know, a lot of times when I grew up, because I grew up in Brooklyn, A lot of times I've seen mothers cry rivers because their young sons or young daughters get put in a casket before them. I would say that's the most painful thing that our women ever will have to go through, burying their children. You know what I'm saying? That bond they had with them, carrying them for 9 months, you got to bury their cold body. This child that you delivered warm and full of life, you got to bury their cold body. I would say that's the most painful thing I've ever seen as a grown man. A mother crying over the casket over her child, right? And when they was beating that man to death, guess what he was saying? Same thing George Floyd said. Yeah. Mom, mommy, mom. Right? So for a mother to see that, they said that the mother, you back up?
Yeah, I got back in.
For a mother to see that, because they said when they played that video first in front of his family, the mother couldn't watch it. After he started calling mom, the mom got up and she had to leave. She couldn't watch the whole thing. That's how like disgusting it was. They were just being the way it was being that man. Right? So let me get Jeremiah 9:1. Because this is another reason why we can't oppress each other, because we're breaking the hearts of our mothers, man. We are breaking the hearts of our mothers. Guess what? You kill another brother out there, his mother cried, then you get called for it, you get sent to jail for life, and then now your mother cried. We destroying our mothers out here, man. And for what? For what? It don't make no sense, man. Let me get that Jeremiah 9:1.
Come on, this is the book of Jeremiah 9 from the top. Oh, that my head were waters, and mine eyes a fountain of tears.
See, he said my head felt like waters and my eyes a fountain of tears. This is Jeremiah crying his eyes out, right? Read on.
That I might weep day and night.
He weeps day and night. Why? Read on.
For the slain of the daughter of my people.
He said for the slain of the daughter of his people, man. He don't like to see his women in pain, right? And us as a nation, especially us men of the nation, we're not supposed to like to see that either. We're not supposed to like to see our women in pain at all. Con? Right? We get that in Jeremiah 6:14.
This is the book of Jeremiah 6:14. They have healed also the hurts of the daughter of my people.
So they be having our women think that they got the solutions. Go and vote Democrat. Go and vote for me. I got the solutions. I wrote a book. I got the solutions. Come get this extra job and get more money. Come, let us sue them, and you can get millions. That's going to replace the love for your child. And don't replace that. Nothing can replace that, honestly. Right? That's why I would want blood for blood, because ain't no amount no money could replace the heartbeat of your child. Right? Read that again from the top.
Come on. Book of Jeremiah 6:14. They have healed also the hurts of the daughter of my people, slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace.
When there is what?
There is no peace.
There is no peace, though. They're going to lie and tell y'all you're going to get peace because you're going to sue these people that killed your child. They're going to lie to y'all and say, oh, that was back in the days. Now you so-called black women are the most educated in college. You ain't got to worry about none of that. Oh, it's peace now. But that's a damn lie. There's no peace. There's no damn peace, man. Right? That's it on that. Let me get Isaiah 3:15. Okay? There's no peace. Don't let them lie to y'all. Y'all protect y'all children. Y'all raise y'all children in this truth. Right? Because they got sex trafficking for your daughters waiting. And they got gang banging for your sons waiting. Right? They trying to lead them down that toxic hole. And that ain't good for nobody's soul. Not you, not your family, not your children, nothing. Read on.
Come on. This is the book of Isaiah 3:15. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces?
What mean ye that you beat my people to pieces, man? We belong to Yahweh. Yahweh called us the apple of his eye, man. He said whoever touch us, touch the apple of his eye. So why would we want to cause self-affliction to each other to try to keep up with the heathen that's destroying us? Read that again from the top.
Come on. Isaiah 3:15 from the top. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces?
Right?
And grind the faces of the poor.
They do what?
And grind the faces of the poor.
And that's what they did to that poor man, man. They grind his face, man. They sprayed his face with mace. They beat his face with a baton. They kicked him in the face. They caught free sucker punches on him, man. They beat him to pieces, man. They grinded his face, man. Read on.
Come, saith the Lord God of hosts. Verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion... Let me keep on that.
Nah, that's not that.
Come.
Right? We get Matthew 2, matter of fact, Matthew 5 and 25.
Come.
Right? Now, on the other hand, let me tell you how to avoid situations like that. If you're in a situation and them officers are extra aggressive, don't get aggressive too and let it go way left. Or they'll get so scared like Homeboy did. Homeboy just got so scared he didn't know what to do because Homeboy's like, I'm going to break you, dog. I'm going to break you. So Homeboy got so scared that he just dipped.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, these dudes sound like they're going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? The aggression, the cursing, the words they was using, I'm going to break you, boy. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to Like, in that situation, they're like, yo, bro, hold on, bro. Like, is that necessary, yo?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to deflect all that and have them feel like they wildin'. You understand? But if you get so nervous and you run, now it's like running from a dog. Y'all know not to run from no dog. You might as well dose at the dog, but if you run from that dog, the dog definitely gonna chase you. That's how police are when they in that real police spirit. When they allow that bash to put spirits on them, they allow that white man to talk demons on them. They're like dogs. You start running, they're gonna run after you, and they're gonna get excited, and that adrenaline gonna go up. You understand? Right? So we get Matthew 5 and 25.
Come. This is the book of Matthew 5 and 25 in the red letter.
In the red letter, this is an order from Yahweh Shai, so pay attention.
Come. Agree with thine adversary quickly.
Do what?
Agree with thine adversary quickly.
Hey, officer, I don't know what's wrong, but can you tell me what's going on? Especially if you see them coming down so aggressive. Right? You're not being a coward. Running away make you a coward, but you're doing what you're using wisdom and you're flipping that aggression back on them. Right? Read on.
Come. Whilst thou art in the way with him.
While you're in the way with him. Read on.
Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge.
What he's going to do?
He's going to deliver thee to the
So you
judge.
can use this as law enforcement because what they wanted to do was arrest him and deliver him to the judge. Read on.
And the judge deliver thee to the officer.
And now they want to put you in what? Around what? The CO, the correction officer. Read on.
And thou be cast into prison.
To be what?
And thou be cast into
And then
prison.
be cast into prison. So even Yahweh Shai, that's how you know it's a black man book. How the Messiah tell you how to handle police? In 2023, our Messiah is telling us how to handle police. So that's how you know it's a black man's book. Right? He say, play cool. They just agree with them. Let's see if they let you off. Right? Khan? Right? Let me get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha just to land me back on what Yahweh Shai said, 9 and 13. So if any of y'all get in this type of situation, don't get too aggressive with the officer. Of course, let them know you have rights too. Of course, you gotta let them know that, but do it as calm as possible, especially if you see that being overly aggressive.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also called Sirach 9 and 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Right? This man got power to kill. They got that time, they got power to kill. They got they tasers, they pepper spray, their guns, their batons. Right? They got the whole damn Batman belt on them. Right? Read on.
So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death.
Read.
And if thou come unto him, make no fault.
Make what?
Make no fault.
Don't get so scared that you just run away. Homeboy did the 30-yard dash on him. Right? Had the white officer. And that same white officer got frustrated in the video and said, I hope when they catch him, they stomp it out of him. And that's exactly what they did. So I guarantee you, them parts of the tape where they muted, they're on the radio talking to each other. Which one of y'all gonna catch him? Hold him for me. I'm gonna get him, or you get him for me. That type of thing. That's how they talking. Right? Read on.
Lest he take away thy life presently.
lest he take away that life presently, man. You got to use wisdom, man. Even in a robbery. You understand? You got to use wisdom. They'll be like, I'm going to die for my baguettes. My G, what? Nah.
Yeah.
If you were smart, you had them baguettes insured. Right? And the jeweler going to give you your jump off back. You claim it on your taxes. Right? But if not, man, it ain't worth your life. We are the children of Israel. Nothing is worth our lives.
God.
Right? That's it on that, King.
God.
Right? Let me get Isaiah 42:22. Right? This shows that our people are constantly oppressed by law enforcement.
God. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42:22.
Read.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is a people that's robbed and spoiled. Right? So we already come from oppression. Right? So why would you oppress one another? Do not oppress one another, man. Read on.
God. They are all of them snared in holes.
Read.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Where they are hid?
In prison houses.
Right? That's the Bible verse that talks about mass incarceration, man. Our people are hid in prison houses. Right? That prison industrial complex, man. That's why they was on him like that. They wanted to arrest him. But since he pissed them off, he had them running out of breath and accidentally pepper spraying each other. Since he pissed them off, they beat him to death. But what they really want to do is put him in the prison houses and make that quota. Con? Right? Let's get Revelations 2 and 10. See, the book of Revelations was written on the island of Patmos, which is a prison. So the final book of the Bible was written by a dude in prison. How about that? It was written by a black man in prison. The final book of the Bible, book of Revelations, was written by a black man in prison. Y'all gotta remember that. That's how you know this is our book, man. He was in captivity. And who he said had him in captivity? The devil. Right? The so-called white man in the Roman Empire. Let's get that Revelations 2 and 10.
This is the book of Revelations 2 and 10. Again, in the red letter. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
The devil shall cast some of you into prison. And he's talking about the Roman Empire because that's who had him in prison. Read on.
That ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death.
Hey, there could be a chance where you do everything right and they still kill you. But he said, be thou faithful unto death. If you listen to the instruction of Yahweh Shai and they still kill you, guess what's going to happen? Read on.
And I will give thee a crown of life.
And that's red letter, right?
Red letter.
He said, hey, you be faithful unto death, even though they threw you in prison. Hey, I'm going to give you a crown of life, though. I got that ultimate bail. I got that bail bond for real. You know what I'm saying? I got that crown of life. Right? So these are the things, if you on the side of the people that's being oppressed by the law, that you got to keep in mind. But now I'm going to give a list of the things that our people might be if they're part of law enforcement. Because we have people waking up all over the place. We got people that's in the armies and the navies waking up. We got people that's in law enforcement waking up. We got people that's in corrections waking up. So here's my words to them. Let me get Luke chapter 3, verse 12. Because y'all not supposed to do, if you awaken Israelite right now, and you're in any type of law enforcement or security, these are instructions what you're not supposed to do and what you are supposed to do. Right? You're not supposed to beat your brother to death, man. You're not supposed to beat your sister to death, or hang your sister like she's Sandra Bland, or take advantage of your sister and be a perv on her because you got a badge. Right? So this is what you're supposed to do when you're in law enforcement. Right? Let me get Luke 3 and 12.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 3 and verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized, and said unto him, Master, what shall we do?
So they're talking to John the Baptist. And John the Baptist not only is Christ's cousin, but he was the one preparing for the coming of the Messiah. You can read that in Luke chapter 1. Right? But this is Luke chapter 3. Read on.
Verse 13. And he said unto them, Exact no more than that which is appointed you.
Right? You are appointed to hold law and order. So do that. Don't exact anymore. Don't overdo it. Don't flex your muscle all of a sudden because you got a badge. You was a geek all the time in high school, straight dweeb. Now you got a badge, now you Mr. Tough Guy. Let's not do that.
Teacher.
Right? Read on.
Gone, verse 14. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, and what shall we do?
And so the soldiers are now talking. So this is basically going to law enforcement, the soldiers, right? Read on.
And he said unto them, do violence to no man.
Do what?
Do violence to no man.
Don't beat your brother to death.
Do violence to no man.
Don't harass your people.
Do violence to no man.
Right? Do violence to no man. Don't oppress your people with violence. Read on.
Neither accuse any falsely.
Neither accuse any falsely. Don't just go do things to people to make that quota. Right? Because that's how a damn a stop and frisk or routine traffic stop will turn into murder. Read on.
Neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages.
And be what?
Be content with your wages.
And don't be no damn dirty cop. Don't use your badge to go ahead and now you shaking down drug dealers and extorting them, and you taking in pay, which you should be cleaning up the streets. So right there, in the Bible, it even tells you how to be a cop if you wanted to be one. Con? Right? Let me get Deuteronomy 16 and 18. Let's get that law.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 16 and 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates.
See, we're supposed to have judges and officers. Because we're not a people that's really wild and crazy like that. That's how they portray us on the media through the witchcraft of the synagogue of Satan, so our people can follow because they know we lost sheep right now. But our people, we are supposed to be a people of order, a people of dignity, a people of prestige, royalty. Right? So we're supposed to have officers and judges. Right? Read on.
Which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment.
They shall judge the people how?
With just judgment.
Well, no, with police violence.
With just judgment.
No, with police brutality.
With just judgment.
With just judgment, man. Right? So if you're in law enforcement, man, you're supposed to be doing these things. Or if you're just the head of a household, or if you're being a staple in the community, man, you're supposed to rule with just judgment. Right? Let's get Leviticus 19 and 17. Let's get the classic, but this is more law.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, man. The way they beat that man, you could have swore that he did something like smack somebody's grandma. Act like he done stole the baby bottle from your baby. The way they beat that man. Right? Read on.
Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Right? We rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him, man. Read on.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
And they was mad with him. He was like, this man done had me mace myself, I'm going to get him. He had me losing my breath, I'm going to get him. He done hit me with the juke move, I nearly fell, I'm going to get him. Right? Read on.
Come. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
And that's important right there. You're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. You're supposed to hear that man cry for his mom, but yo, hold on, y'all chill. Yo, this man crying for his moms right now. Y'all chill. Like, yo, bro, just lay down on the floor. I'm begging you, just lay on the floor and put your hands up, because I don't want to hit you. We're going to get you to your mom. How about that? You put on these handcuffs, and we're going to call your mom. That's going to be your first phone call. You know what I'm saying? That should have kicked in. But our people ain't living by these laws, man. They're living by the white man's laws that say do a nigga dirty. Right? And that's the problem. Read on.
God. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
And that's the Lord saying that love your neighbor as yourself, the children of your people. Right? Let me get 1 Corinthians, King.
God.
It's 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. 1 Corinthians 6 and 2.
This This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6 and verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Don't you know that the saints shall judge the world? So we got to get it together, y'all, because we got a big responsibility ahead of us. Con? Right? Read on.
Con. And if the world shall be judged by you.
And if the world should be judged by you, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, woman, and child, right? Read on.
Are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? You can't even judge and say, oh, hold on, we done beat this man enough. We got to stop. Yo, bro, don't kick him in his head while you on the floor. You wildin'. Them damn officer boots, damn steel-toed, big-ass officer boots, you gonna kick somebody in the head? You are wildin'. Chill. We can't judge the smallest matters? Read on, huh?
Con, verse 3. Know ye not that we shall judge angels?
And we're gonna be able to judge angels. How you can't judge the smallest matters? How you don't know what's right from wrong? Especially if you're wearing a damn badge. But you let that badge put spirits on you. You should be carrying that badge in the spirit. Con? Right, that's it on that, King. Let me get Matthew 22 and 36, man. A couple more, then we're going to wind it down. Let me see if they'll let you play it. We'll try it again.
22 and 36, right?
Yeah.
Con. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
So this is person asking Yahushua, Master, what is the great commandment in the law? Read on.
Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
So you're supposed to love God with all your heart. That means hearken unto his word, right? His word is what? Found in the Torah. Read on.
And with all thy soul. And with all thy mind.
With all thy mind. Read on.
38. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
And you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. That's just reiterating what Moses said. Right? Love your neighbor as yourself. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we are all supposed to do. Supposed to be considerate of one another. As you'll be considerate of your own self. If I know this thing ain't going, if I know this juice don't taste right, why would I give it to you? I'm like, nah, you don't want that. I'm gonna pour it out. And I'm gonna say we're gonna get something better. Right? That's how you love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? All right. Let me get 1 John 3 and 15. Yeah, let's not oppress one another, man. We're already going through enough as a people. Let's love one another, man.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
What?
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Whoever hate his brother is a murderer, man. This is word from Yahushua. You hate your brother, you're already a murderer. Just guess what? If you hate your brother, you will murder him. And that's what happened. They all hated their brother. And they ended up beating the hell out of him and beating him to death, man. Read on.
And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
Right? You know, no murderer have eternal life. So definitely get that hate out your heart. Okay? Let me get 1 John again, but 4 and 20.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God.
Now, if a man is telling you, I love God, you know what I'm saying? I'm a godly man. Read on.
And hateth his brother.
But he hate his brother. Read on.
He is a liar.
He's a what?
He is a liar.
He's a damn liar, though. Read on.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen.
Right? You don't love your brother who you see. This your brother. You see him. You be around him. Read on.
How can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
And now this your brother that you see him calling for his mom, and you just disregard that and just beat him to death. How could I believe that you will love God? It's impossible to believe that. All right, let me get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, and then we're going to go to the footage. Let's hear the conclusion of this whole matter.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 2. 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
Fear God, right? Obey God. hearken unto God. Read on.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. And the faith of Hamashiach Yahushua. Read on.
For this is the whole duty of man.
And that's the whole duty of man. That's all you got to worry about, man. And things going to be all right. I received when they let you play it this time.
Just released the footage from the death of Tyree Nichols. We're going to play it for you now. We want to let you know that we have not seen the video because we felt it was important to watch it in real time with you, the viewers. Because of this, we want to warn you, though, there will likely be profanities, a lot of profanities. And emphasize that we've already learned this video is incredibly graphic, violent, and very disturbing. We also know that the police have redacted some parts of the license plates and faces of people unrelated to this incident. We will play it now.
That's the long pause, right? I swear they paused that while he in the car because they don't want you to hear the radio talk like, yeah, get that, blah, blah, blah. And you hear how they talking? They talking like it's a robbery.
Man. Look at this. 7 killed in shooting in synagogue in Jerusalem. Block is simply that. 7 killed in shooting in synagogue in Jerusalem. They killed the gunman too, of course.
Wow.
They tased him?
Yeah, they tased him. The homeboy still boogie woogie.
He got tased like twice, too.
Yeah, he was scared.
I think everybody else too.
That taser hurt. They maced him and tased him. And he still ran off.
2938. Where it rains.
Esau about to pass to her out.
And he's about to pass off. Porky Pig about to go. He about to do his last bitty.
Young male, black, slim build, blue jeans, and a hoodie. Sat down on Ross. Where we last saw her.
Yo, Sharp, and the second one, that's the one we're talking about, from the top. This one is on the one.
What the fuck's the bastard? Your car's waiting for you.
So all we did was one.
Why go
We didn't have a weapon or anything like that.
No.
Where's your water?
And then goes, he's dealing with the officer that made mistake and sprayed himself. He sprayed homeboy so much he sprayed himself.
Okay, I got you. Get water? Here. Right here. Negative 2938.
After the white officer gets his glasses, you gonna hear him say, I hope they stomp this out of him.
Yeah, they cut it off right there.
The arrest and later brutal beating of Tyree Nichols. This is the first video. What we saw was the initial traffic.
I'm surprised he released that video.
Yeah, they gotta vilify the vilify it. Had they been Edomites, they would have tried to they tried to justify it. Surely he did something wrong.
Incredibly afraid and incredibly confused as police take him out and put him on the ground and attempt to tase him, handcuff him before he then runs away.
Oh, they didn't play that part.
Yeah, that's the first one. You want me to play the second one?
Done.
I don't know if, let me see.
Clip now, released by the city of Memphis, ready to go. We want to give you another warning. This video apparently is the most graphic and the most shocking to watch. Also, again, we want to give a warning. There are likely lots of profanities. This is, from what we understand, the Sky Cop cam video, which is a pole cam looking down at the arrest and subsequent beatdown.
Can y'all see that? Y'all might want to see that. Y'all can see it from there?
So I'm being told by our producers, again, we're watching this in real time, that there's no audio on this, but you do not need to listen to this because what we're seeing here is kick after kick. It looks like in the direction of Tyree Nichols' head. I was just at that intersection earlier tonight, and believe it or not, it is 3 houses away from where Tyree Nichols' parents live. He was running in the direction of his parents' house. This overhead camera here, it's called Sky Cop, and they're all around. Oh, and it looks like an officer here has a baton. Looks like they're holding him up. Oh, man. The family described this video. They are literally holding him up. Oh. There's some violent punches being thrown. He's literally being held up and beaten with a baton and fists right to the face. I can count 4 officers on the scene right here. He does not appear at all to be resisting arrest. In fact, he appears to be lifeless at this point. An officer now on top of him, on his back it appears. Looks like another responding unit is in the area. Again, this is 3 houses away from where his parents live. We cannot escape that fact. This video coming from a camera they call Sky Cop here in Memphis, attached to an electricity pole right above the neighborhood where his parents lived. It looked like another officer just came in and now kickstart once again. I have 2 Memphis City Council members with me here that have joined Top Story tonight. I thank you for your time, and I know it's not easy to come and speak on a live broadcast like this as we're watching this video in real time. How disappointing is this?
Yeah, it's hard to put words to it, but the lack of regard for humanity and sanctity of life. These are the men and women that are entrusted to protect our community, and they're well trained, and they exercise incredibly poor judgment would be an understatement.
I think what is the evidence that is, at least at this part, that you just cannot decide.
Like what do us our people need to see?
Right. With both a baton and fists.
He's just laying there.
They're trained in techniques time and time again in order to get a suspect to comply. And ultimately, what's so disappointing is that this was an alleged reckless driving charge in which somebody feared him for their life and ran, and they could have been there. They had possession of this vehicle, and the entire incident, if you talk to a trained veteran, would have told you, we've got the car, we can find the suspect later, there's no need to chase it down.
I think at this point, this is the point where both the Nichols family and their attorneys are saying first aid was not rendered. He's been beaten to a pulp.
Right.
What we've seen on these cameras, clearly, with batons, with fists, with brutal kicks to the head, and now he's being held up. and no first aid is being rendered at this point. He can't even stand up. Look, he just slumped over.
That's the hard part is officers on both sides that are
They're literally dragging his body into the police car.
Still prop him up here and wait for supporting units, supervisor, and eventually fire department, which has our EMT unit. It's going to take about 20 minutes before that ambulance arrives.
20 minutes before an ambulance arrives?
Yes. So our officers failed in duty to intervene and duty to render.
So after all that beating he took, it took 20 minutes for ambulance to come.
Policies and their training.
The ironic part about all of this is that those cameras are placed there to prevent crimes, to capture crimes. And essentially that's what they did. But it was a crime committed by police.
And no one's above the law. And body-worn cameras, cruiser cameras, and Skycop cameras are there to protect all parties.
Yeah, I think they forgot they got cameras over.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't think nobody would see it.
Right.
Actually, I think some of them actually thought he was going to get away with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. You know what that reminds me of? Rule 10
10:30, pull up. Pull up. While we winding it down, calling it into this class, man. Beautiful Sabbath class, man. All praises to the Most High.
You said Baruch what?
10:30.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
Hey, that's gonna be happening in these last days, man. Yeah, just pull up. We'll be right out. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, so that would conclude the lesson, man.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, bye.
we're going to be at 5 Points tomorrow. They should be demonstrating and protesting out there too. So I would say that if y'all do attend it, you know what I'm saying, just make sure y'all stay on point because you don't know what's going to go down. Surely the camp will protect anybody that's with us, but you know what I'm saying, if things start to look hectic, I would just want all women and children to just leave. You know what I'm saying? And the men will handle it. All right, y'all. We just say this last thing to the Most High. Dua Yahweh, HaShabbat, Dua Yahweh, HaShabbat, Dua Yahweh, HaShabbat, Yahweh, Barak, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Barak, Yasha'Allah. Wow, let's face the East right quick. Yahweh, Barak, Shabbat, Yahweh, Barak, Shabbat, Yahweh, Barak, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Barak, Yasha'Allah, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Babakashah, 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 Amen.
Water.
Kwame Yashai. Y'all stay on your P's and Q's. They already mad about Cop City. That's how them protesting and rioting downtown last week. Now with this footage out, is to give them some more reason to riot.
They was riding in here.
Yeah, downtown Atlanta last week. So we're gonna do a little camp starting at 4. Probably be out there from like 4 to like 7:30, and we're gonna head back to the school.
Plan on coming out tomorrow?
Yeah.
What's that work, right?
You gonna hold post?
Whatever you want me to do.
All right, thank you. You got permission for your captain to hold post and everything?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely hold post.
Oh yeah, you from HODC, New York? Yeah.
Nah, well that's the headquarters, but I live in
yeah.
Utah, so
okay.
we got the camp out there.
How's it in Utah? Cold right now, huh?
Yeah, it's about the same, man.
About the same?
Yeah.
I always thought Utah was mad cold.
Everybody think that. Cause it's the mountains, that's why frozen chips on the mountains. But it's like the same. Actually, it's colder in New York than it is here, than it is in Utah.
It's cold in New York, yeah. New York right by the water, that's why. People be sleeping how cold New York is.
I know.
New York is cold, bro.
Oh.
That's why they call it brick.
Yeah, brick.
Brick
Yeah, I
out
told
there.
my supervisor that.
Yeah, it's brick.
You got the mic? Great. You got the mic. So, no, you good, King.
I guess I got a quick one.
Hey, Shaw, you got a
So, you know, sis, so
you got your mic?
I went over scripture working, but I want to make sure on see if, you know, anybody else can get this further explain.
What discernment?
Or like, what is discernment?
Well, discernment is an observation. It's a patient observation. That's what discernment is. It's a patient observation. You can tell a lot about a person if you just watch them. And when you watch them, you filter the actions through what the scriptures say. Discernment comes from what the scriptures say. That's how you tell your discernment. Now, when you become very spiritual, your discernment is quicker. Right? Your discernment gets quicker. Yahweh's discernment was so good that he could actually read people's thoughts. That's how good his discernment was, but that was through the Spirit. You understand? Yeah. I mean, I could give a lesson on that next week if you want. I could give a lesson on that next week. Yeah, discernment is patient observation. You know what I'm saying? You take your time, you observe things, and that's going to help you out with discernment. You know, but the more you're in this truth, and the more spiritual chambers are unlocked in your mind, your discernment gets quicker. So you can read a person's spirit off the rip. Elder Zabak is very good with that. A person walk up to the king, be like, I already read your spirit, you calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, for right now, while you're new and you're growing, just take time with your discernment. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust your first instinct. Observe. And sometimes your first instinct be right, especially with women. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, still take your time and observe and reflect on the situation through the scriptures. All praises.
Yeah, when you around like people that are wiser than you, try not to do too much talking. Listen to them a lot more, because they can tell when you're full of it. You know, because they have that spirit of discernment heavy.
Yeah,
so
heavy.
when you coming with folly, they can see it a mile away. Yeah. So don't think you can outsmart them, because a lot of people think they can. Oh, you know, I'm gonna talk like I know everything, and they've heard it all, man.
When I first came into the truth through IUIC, that's one of the few first lessons I learned. Because I dealt with the spirit of pride. I ran my mouth too much, got rebuked, and learned that fast.
Yeah, brothers will rebuke you quick.
I got rebuked and learned that quick.
Too eager, brother.
Yeah, the presence of elders, you just want to listen. You don't even have to talk to it.
Yeah, don't say anything.
So can you have a good spirit or a good sense of discernment, but not be that learned in the law?
Well, you could get a vibe from somebody, right? But to fully understand a person's discernment, because sometimes you can get a negative vibe from a person, but they're just in a corrective mode, right? Because sometimes, you know, I'm in a corrective mode.
My wife bought it for me from the